Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome to the Chris Packs Dogecoin live stream. And today we're going to be talking about this pre-election dump. Is that what's going on? I don't want to talk about politics here, but we do talk about how it relates to crypto and finances. And we'll concentrate on that end of it because I think it's important, especially as we are now less than 4 weeks away from the upcoming US presidential election, which is a big deal, particularly this cycle, because as Elon Musk said, the future of elections in the United States depends on this election. Because there's funny things going on, but we don't want to get into that. We want to get into the crypto side and what is going on with a dump. So let me drop here in the corner, and does it look like a dump for Dogecoin? It doesn't look like a dump. I mean, we had that dump back here, right? That was yesterday. And today, Doge has been holding up pretty well from then. But Bitcoin, nope. Bitcoin has dumped. Bitcoin now down below $61,000. So Bitcoin is at 60,924 right now. So look at this sell-off on Bitcoin. But yet Doge is holding up very well. So why would Doge be holding up while Bitcoin is selling down? That's very interesting. Very interesting. So we will cover that. We're going to cover the Satoshi Nakamoto story. Peter Schiff. We'll do a little XRP, which is kind of interesting as well. So a lot on the docket today to talk about. And I know we have some bears, and there could be some bears in the house here right now. If you're watching this on the video replay and you weren't here for the live stream, which is okay. That's all right. At least you're watching, right? And getting caught up on what's going on. But it's always better to be live right here and in the chat so you can take part in the chat, interact. I can answer your questions live. You can always leave a comment below because I do read those, but more fun during a live stream to be here live in the chat. So what's going on with Doge? Again, at this dip below 11, we've been up and down this morning, up and down right around 11 cents, while Bitcoin and many other cryptos have kind of been dumping down. So you see green for Doge, and you see a lot of red all the way down my whole watch list. It's all, look at that. It's all red. It's all red except for Doge. So what's keeping Doge floating here? And why isn't Doge dumping like Bitcoin and the others? Kind of interesting. We were expecting this kind of thing to happen. We've been talking about it. Typically, when you see Bitcoin dump like that, you see Doge dump even harder. But lately, what we've been seeing is a real good hold on support levels for Dogecoin. So, interesting. So let's get into it. Crypto bubbles. We got a lot of red, a Doge here in the green. We got Arrow, Uniswap, and just a couple others. And then here's Nero. Nero has been just going crazy. Is now a top 100 cryptocurrency. Do you believe that with Nero? Nero is a top 100 now. Yet another meme. Yes, yet another meme in the top 100. I think there's 6 now, maybe 7 memes in the top 100. It's like this 2024 has been the year of the meme in crypto. And Dogecoin's done okay so far in 2024, but it's waiting. It's still waiting for a big run, which I covered in the video this morning. You've got to watch that. We've been talking about it here for quite a while. Everything all leading up to what's about to happen in the crypto markets. A lot of anticipation, October through the rest of the year, the elections, all those other good things. Plus 2025, which is really when we would expect all-time highs in crypto following our 4-year cycles. So a lot of people are getting a little antsy now, but it's still just the first half of October of the Bitcoin halving year. So we haven't even gotten to what's next. So Dogecoin facing a new stress test. Will it pass? And so far, what we've seen is Dogecoin is passing pretty well. It's holding on. Dogecoin is in the green. Everything else just about is in the red. So Dogecoin is holding on. The meme coins, Doge's ability to attain new price levels depends on whether it can pass current resistance levels. But right now, with Bitcoin dropping, dragging most cryptocurrencies down, Doge is just trying to hold its support right now. So that is what we're looking at. But the Dogecoin network numbers are mostly bullish. We've seen these whale accumulation, large wallet holders stacking more Doge, and we see a lot larger number of new wallets being created holding Doge. But yet there's still trading, heavy trading going on, and there are sellers who are swing trading Doge, and some are just like sick and fed up and getting out of Doge because they want to go catch the latest meme token and think Doge is too slow. They can do that. Good luck. You don't know which is the meme token that's really going to take off. Obviously, if you got in Nero, you already needed to be in it. If you're buying Nero now, you're buying it at the top. What I think is the top. I mean, could Nero actually go higher than this? Maybe. But you're going to sell your Dogecoin to go chase that? Really? Interesting. So Bitcoin dropped below 62K, shows BTC price remains on delicate ground. And now is it only under 62K? It's now under 61K. So the battle between Bitcoin buyers and sellers continues as BTC's price falls closer to key support levels. So earlier in October, just a week ago, Bitcoin was touching 59, had a nice recovery, but now is tempting to go back to 59 as we see it right now with a 60 here. So could we see Bitcoin continue to drop and actually touch 59 again? I think a lot of people will say, well, that's a big buying opportunity, isn't it? Buying on the dip. Now, Dogecoin, again, is not dipping so much. So the time to have bought Dogecoin was really more yesterday on its dip down near 10.5 cents. It's holding up. Now, if Bitcoin continues to drop and actually does go to 59, we could see Doge retesting 10.5 cents. we could see that happening with that sort of bearish negativity in the market. And again, this is all pre-election because there's so many big things coming up that these dips could be great buying opportunities here before everything really blasts off, because there's a huge potential for that to happen. Bitcoin's recent drawdowns are shallow and consistent with past bull cycles. Yes, we've looked at past bull runs and pullbacks, drop downs, retraces, dumps, whatever you want to call them, have happened consistently in Bitcoin during bull markets. So if you're DCAing and you're holding and waiting for Bitcoin to go to 100K, 200K, or whatever, don't get shaken out by these drawdowns, because they happen every past cycle in every bull market. Now, once we get past what we think is the top of the bull, and then you start to see those drawdowns, well, then it might be time really to take profits, because do you really want to hold all the way back down? I mean, we don't know how far back down that may be. I think it will depend on how high it actually goes, this bull run. But be careful trading, that's for sure, because we do have price, get rid of that, price volatility is happening. And we've been watching that, particularly with the leverage traders. And again, taking out more long leverage positions. Every time you see Bitcoin go on a dip like that, you've got a ton of $500,000 up over $1 million individual trades, which are being put on leverage longs for Bitcoin and ETH. A lot on ETH. We've seen a lot of $2 million trades on ETH using leverage. And with that data, we don't know whether it's 2x, 5x, 10x, like how much leverage they're putting on these things. But they're consistently getting liquidated with each of these dips. So the bull market drawdowns remain relatively shallow, but in line with historical bull market uptrends. And this highlights both the similarities and relative resiliency of the current cycle. And I've shown charts in the past on what those previous drawdowns have been, anywhere from 20 to 30 and even 40% pullbacks during bull markets. Of course, that was back 2016, 2017, we saw those 40%. But earlier this cycle and last cycle, we saw many in the 20s and 30s of those pullbacks. And we're experiencing that again right now. But for Bitcoin, despite these pullbacks that we've had, there is an encouraging sign of strength. And these are all the good news that's going on with crypto and how it's going to respond to the United States Federal Reserve and rate cuts, because we're going to see another rate cut most likely before the US presidential election. And then we have the election itself, and we'll look at what Polymarket says about that. Trump versus Harris, and pros and cons related to what that means as far as its effect on cryptocurrencies. We have FTX, which over the next couple months will be paying off its creditors, which includes a lot of retail buyers who got liquidated on their own on their FTX holdings. But bankruptcy, the bankruptcy holders are actually going to be paying out, and they're going to be paying out, well, it remains to be seen whether it's in a stable coin, but it's not going to be in the original cryptos that people thought that they had actually bought on FTX. Like if you had $20,000 worth of Bitcoin on FTX, you didn't actually own that Bitcoin. That was like what they call paper trading. So you'll get paid back what you had in a value at the time FTX declared bankruptcy, which of course was 2 years ago, just about. And Bitcoin's price was like $16,000 then. So you'll get paid off the equivalent of Bitcoin at $16,000, the amount that you had in your account, plus interest. Now they've added some interest to that. Certainly not the 3x that you would expect, because Bitcoin's price has gone up there, but at least you'll get something from what you had at the time FTX declared bankruptcy. At least that's how they're doing it. But what that means is there's going to be a lot of money coming back into crypto holders' wallets that can then be used to buy crypto again. And so many are expecting that's going to be a strength in the crypto market when that happens. So other good things will peel themselves off, most likely if Trump wins the presidential election. Harris, maybe not so much. Many believe that Harris, over the past few weeks, has been saying good things about crypto, but won't actually follow through on those based on the Biden administration and how the Democrats have felt about cryptocurrency over the past 3 years, particularly congressional leadership like Elizabeth Warren and her crypto army, or anti-crypto army, I should say. Not good. It'd be great if John Deaton beat her, but here in Massachusetts, but I think there's a slim hope of that happening. But they are going to do some debates, which will be interesting. John Deaton against Elizabeth Warren. But the old guard here in Massachusetts, they just vote Warren each time. And that's going to be hard to overcome. But we get ahead of ourselves. But here's what Mustache says. The price action is designed to shake you out before the giga green candles for crypto happen. That's right. The giga green candles. I would call it a pre-election dump. Up only very, very soon. So that's what El Crypto Prof says there. Pre-election dump. Don't get shaken out. Because we're still October, and October really hasn't started yet. It's usually been the second half of October. That's what we saw last year. That's, again, what we saw back in 2020 as well, and even 2021, all except 2022, because we were in the middle of the bear market then. And MyDoge, I mean, they just say, look, Doge for president. let's just write in Doge, right? Let's just write in Doge. But there is, if Trump does win, there is the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, right? Which Elon has been having a lot of fun with. And much efficiency, much wow. You're just going to be seeing all kinds of Doge and Dogecoin references happening if Trump wins. Now, Trump doesn't actually become president until January, but between November and January, there will certainly be a lot of hype around it. And many times it's buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So from the election, post-election, all the way through January, we could be riding quite a bullish move in crypto. That could be happening. Quite the bullish run could be happening there. So we'll be watching that. We'll definitely be watching that. But many believe a Trump win could send Bitcoin soaring up to 90K. Some are in the 100, 200K range, even more. So Bitcoin up only if Trump wins. We'll look at Polymarket in a minute, but the betting is big on the presidential election. And the odds are leaning more toward Trump, likely due to his pro-crypto stance. And I don't agree with that. I think us crypto bros, right, and us in our bubble, I think we're really a small percentage of the overall population that's voting. But when it comes to Polymarket, maybe we're a bigger percentage because the Polymarket is a lot of crypto bros. So that's kind of what's driving. But the betting that's happening on Polymarket, yeah, it's probably more crypto based. But Trump's potential presidency could boost Bitcoin to 80 to 90K. Not only pro-crypto stance, but also Bitcoin mining. That's one thing that he's been talking about as well. He wants most, if not all, of the remaining Bitcoin to be mined here in the United States, and he was going to support that. A Harris victory could cause Bitcoin to drop to $40,000, reflecting her less detailed crypto policies, and focus more on consumer protection. And that consumer protection thing, that's more Elizabeth Warren's stance, is we need to protect the US investor because crypto is used by bad guys, right? When actually a lot more fiat US dollar money is actually used by bad guys than crypto. But that's the argument anyway. As the US presidential election approaches, its effect on financial markets, particularly cryptocurrencies, are gaining attention. And we could see this big run, not only because of boosting Bitcoin mining, supporting crypto, but also the Security Exchange Commission and the SEC chair, who just this week, they decided to serve a Wells notice to Crypto.com, and Crypto.com turned around and said, I'm suing you. So Crypto.com has sued the SEC. This whole idea about regulation by litigation that the SEC has been doing is not good for the overall feeling of crypto and how the SEC is doing this. And the exchanges are the ones, unfortunately, that are getting the brunt of this, from Robinhood to Coinbase and now Crypto.com. Binance already paid off a huge fine, because that's what they can go after, are the companies. They can't really go after crypto projects unless they're actually backed by a company such as Ripple, which is why XRP Ripple is in litigation with the SEC, because there's an actual company behind it. But like, the SEC can't sue Bitcoin because there's no company. I mean, and also the same with Dogecoin. There's no company there. There's a nonprofit Dogecoin Foundation. What are you going to sue there? There's nothing there. So it will be interesting. Vice President Kamala Harris, while backing blockchain technology, which we think could actually be tied more toward a sort of a government-backed digital currency, right? Which we don't want to see, because that blockchain technology could actually be private and not public, like China is doing with the digital yuan. So CBDC is no good. So we don't want that. But she has not detailed her exact crypto policies. She's been talking more about being somewhat pro-crypto, but nobody in the crypto world believes her. So her focus is more on protecting consumers, boosting America's leadership, fitting her broader opportunity economy agenda. So interesting how all of that will play out. And then on Polymarket, we now have, as of today, Trump's odds went from 50% up to 54%, now about 53%, while Harris has dropped based on recent interviews on that Harris had on 60 Minutes and The View, which weren't very favorable for herself. So that's a big change. That's a big change that just happened this week. So we'll see how that plays out. Still, we'll be watching how Polymarket plays out. Again, these aren't just polls. These are actual people betting real money on who they think is going to win the election. And many times that's a truer gauge of how things may turn out than the so-called polls. So we'll see that. We'll watch that. But meanwhile, Gary Gensler, he was at another talk and he was getting grilled by law students and a former SEC commissioner over his stance on regulating crypto. So Gary's hearing it more and more. I mean, he doesn't care, right? He doesn't care. But it's just more of the population, particularly law students even, have an opportunity to talk to him, and it's not good because they see what's going on with the SEC, and it's like, come on. And then you've got Peter Schiff, he's like pro gold, right? And he's like lapping it up right now because gold is at all-time high prices, and I mean, it hasn't experienced the same growth in terms of percentage from an investor's point of view as Bitcoin has. I mean, nowhere close, but his bet on gold, as well as him being a gold dealer, right? So he makes money off of that. If you buy gold through him, he makes even more money. So he's doing very well. But we do have part of this dip in Bitcoin is this 69,370 Bitcoins from Silk Road that the US holds. There's more. I mean, I think the US still has some 200,000 Bitcoins, but 69,000 have just been moved to an exchange. And there's a fear that those are just going to get dumped on the market, and the market's going to dump even more. So Peter Schiff tweeted out to Michael Saylor and just said, hey, why don't you just borrow another $4.3 billion and buy that Bitcoin directly from the US government? Now, that's not real, right? That nothing like that could actually happen, but it's just Peter Schiff just, doing his little digs into the Bitcoin community like he's been doing for years. And here we have it again. So switching gears a little bit, XRP versus Dogecoin, which will deliver maximum gains this October? Which most of you who've been watching me for a while know my stance on XRP. So XRP had a little bit of a run. Dogecoin has dropped down to 1078, but it's still in the green. XRP is now down to 52 cents. 52 cents. So this bit of a run that XRP had here, the end of September, up to 65 cents, has just traded all the way back down and has become, yet again, a stable coin. And that's what I call XRP. Every time it goes on a run, it trades back down and becomes a stable coin. That's what XRP does. And why is that? Well, Will we see an XRP ETF soon? There are many who think, look, XRP ETFs, woohoo, this is going to be great. I do not think the SEC or the commodities exchange is going to approve an XRP ETF. There have been, 2 companies that have applied for them, but just because they applied for them doesn't mean that's going to happen. And that was this big run back here, was this application for ETFs, the first one here at the end of September, and XRP price went wild, but it traded all the way back down from 64 to 52 cents. And now here it is again. So that is like total stablecoin chart there for XRP. And I think most crypto experts that are outside of the XRP army are pretty much saying, look, there's no futures trading, futures ETF or trust or anything like that for XRP. Questionable whether XRP is a security or not. Litigation still going on with the SEC, possibly even appealing last summer's ruling against the SEC, because that could still happen. So Doge is just going to outperform XRP. And XRP could crash another 15% as 32 million tokens flood exchange. That's right. XRP price has already dropped 18%. Exchange inflows signal potential further declines. What is going on? Even though this potential rebound hinges on bulls holding support, market reaction to XRP ETF filings, but the selling continues. Token minting and selling of XRP. So be careful with XRP, guys. Be careful. There's still people out there who's $4 XRP, $40 and it's just like, come on. Totally unrealistic. Many blame me for saying, hey, $5 and $10 Dogecoin, but here, what I'm doing when it comes to those is I'm showing you what other people are saying. I show charts that show possible fractals of like Dogecoin going to $5. I don't think Dogecoin is going to go to $5 this cycle. And I've been saying that every single time, but yet people in the comments say that I'm misleading people. And I'm like, I'm just showing you what other people are saying, and I talk over it and you listen to my words, and I say, yeah, probably not this cycle, $5 Dogecoin. That's a huge, huge run. But it could still happen in the future, yes. I mean, future's a long time. Dogecoin is just going to keep going. So a lot of talk about memes and the competition that Dogecoin has with other memes, because in 2021, it was pretty much Doge, and everyone was buying Doge. Well, Shiba was created, and since then we've seen more and more other meme tokens created, which do take attention away from Dogecoin. So I understand there is competition, and Dogecoin has to face up to that challenge. And we've talked a lot about that on this channel. And my personal opinion is what we're going to see is when Doge starts to move, then the FOMO is going to kick in. Real FOMO is going to kick in. So, and that FOMO is going to be on Doge. And what you're going to be seeing is a lot of selling of these other tokens to buy back into Doge and be on the Doge bandwagon as it goes up. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. Meanwhile, Mustache says on the altcoin market, he's like, we are about to see this big MACD crossover, the MACD crossover, which we had one last fall, right about the same time, middle of October, and altcoins went on a big run. And here we are again this fall, the same thing happening here. are we about to see for alts a huge breakout happening? A lot of this is Solana. There was a huge run on Solana, which was pretty big, but there will always be something else. Solana will probably do okay, not huge gains like it had a year ago, but there'll be a lot of others taking up that slack. Sui is one of them that I think is going to be behind this huge next altcoin run. The last time we saw a bullish cross in the MACD of altcoins was exactly 1 year ago. After that, altcoins recorded a 150% price increase. So if Doge goes up 150% over the next 6 months, so that would be now through the end of March, similar to what Doge did last year, except Doge actually went up more than 150% because it actually went from 7 or 8 cents up to 22 cents. It's 150% from here. I mean, 11-cent Dogecoin, 150%. That gets it to, yeah, maybe 25 cents, something like that by next March. Could, with some FOMO, get up to 30, and that's without an individual big event happening with Doge, like being incorporated onto X or accepted by Tesla for the purchase of Tesla cars, things like that, which could greatly increase Doge's value beyond what the rest of the market is doing. So we'll see about that. But he ends by saying, not financial advice, but all dips are for buying. Big bull is coming. So 150% from here would be very nice. Finally, Satoshi Nakamoto. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? There was this HBO show, and they claimed that this guy, Peter Todd, and as I tweeted out, and where's my Twitter? Not open. My Twitter. And I said, this guy, Peter Todd, he wasn't even in my top 5. And he even tweeted out, he's like, yeah, I'm not Satoshi. But who does Billy Marcus think Satoshi is? That's what this article is about. Doge Whisperer said, hey, if you had to make an educated guess, who would it be? Billy says, Hal Finney and friends. So Billy's more in the camp that Satoshi Nakamoto is more than one person. And I do kind of believe that, but I think there was at least a leader or somebody who was really pushing the bounds more than others. But there were a group that were involved in that, from Nick Szabo to Hal Finney to Len Sussman. And that's what I believe. One of those people actually took the name of Satoshi Nakamoto in dealing with all of the emails and everything going on, right? Sort of as a pseudonym. Just like a lot of you guys, right, have names here, Tabs for Doge, right? I see. And who else is here? SD Willie, there's someone J, right? So a lot of people have these YouTube names, right, that aren't their real names. Somebody, it wasn't Hal Finney, we know, because Hal Finney was emailing with Satoshi Nakamoto. That doesn't mean Hal didn't know who it was or wasn't really part of the group that is Satoshi Nakamoto. So that's my opinion of it. And whether that individual that was really pushing the code and and that early testing of the code, of Bitcoin's code before it was released to the world, could have been Len. Nick Szabo's not saying anything. Maybe he knows. Maybe he just doesn't want to say anything. Anyway, it's all kind of interesting, though. I kind of said, we are all Satoshi Nakamoto, right? We all are. We're all in this crypto thing together. Does it really matter? Maybe it's best that no one really knows and it just keeps going like it is. And that Bitcoin was a gift to the financial world of the future, of a decentralized, ledger that everybody can see, the public ledger, and that's the future of finance. And I think that's awesome. But you know what's even better? Dogecoin has the same thing, right? Dogecoin has the same thing. Its own blockchain, its own ledger, open to the public. We can see all transactions on the blockchain. And Dogecoin is cheaper, faster, lower fees. And as Elon says, Dogecoin actually functions better as a transactional currency than Bitcoin. So let's use Doge, right? So go Dogecoin. We know who the creators of Dogecoin are, Jackson and Billy, right? They did it just for fun, and then they left. They left the game because of all the financial crap that was going on, people arguing over profits. And they were like, that's not why we created Dogecoin. It wasn't for you guys to make money. It was a joke. It was to be used just for fun, which in the first year, that's what people thought of Dogecoin. It was just this fun thing being traded around. But it grew into something different. And that pissed off Jackson and Billy. Jackson tried to come back again, and it just got worse. And he said, I'm out of here. I've had it with this. So kind of interesting history there. But Billy's back and he's around, but not really involved on the crypto side, but a lot of crypto followers. And they just like his humor too. But this Halfinian Friends thing, I mean, he was around in 2013, not in 2009. Kind of interesting background and history. So that's what we've got. Look, Doge still, a bit of a dip here, but not as bad as what Bitcoin did today. And we'll see how this all recovers from this dip, or will there be a further dip tonight? We'll see. Is this just a pre-election dump? And do people see this as a buying opportunity on a dip? Or are there fears that the bears are going to take over and this thing is going to dump down further into the 50s for Bitcoin? Is Doge going to retest 10.5 or even all the way down to 10 cents, like I've seen some calling for on X Twitter? All kind of interesting. Well, let me check in with people in the chat here, see what is going on. Danny V says 9-cent Doge, here we go. Get your wallets ready. So there are some bears in the house. Mark says, is there ever going to be a reversal of the way New York State views Doge? And it's not just Doge, Mark, it's all of crypto. The state of New York has particular digital currency laws in the state, which are more challenging. I'll just put it that way. More challenging than other states, which is why you don't get cryptocurrency trading on certain exchanges and other challenges that the state of New York has. Knockstars, who is a big bear, a black swan on Doge to 5 cents. It's like, okay. I do not see that. Vote Trump to see Doge on the moon. Jay, cheers to you. I am having a beverage on this Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. Cheers. A vote for Harris is an attack on crypto. I don't like, Elizabeth Warren's, anti-crypto army, and how the Democratic leadership has continued to support Gary Gensler. It's all just, it's not good for the industry. Donald Trump sees a future that has crypto in it, and I don't think Harris does. Hey, Lord Drip, how are you? Now that Elon has about 40 state licenses, how long before all states are required? Last I saw was 37 or 38. I haven't seen 40 yet. Someone could have posted more that I missed. I don't know. He's definitely behind schedule. He thought he'd have it all by midsummer 2024, and here we are in October. So I don't know. I don't know. Hey, KB, good to see you too. Think people are selling Bitcoin to buy Doge? I wish. Trump is terrible for the economy. Not if you look back at his prior presidency, economy was booming. The economy was booming up until COVID hit. And then even post-COVID, in his last 6 months, we saw a turnaround and big boom in the economy as well. So I think he's very good for the economy. I think there's going to be some challenges this year, particularly most likely on the unemployment side, if he does indeed have Elon do a lot of cutting of government bureaucracy. That's going to cost a lot of people a lot of jobs, I think. And there should be a plan for that and how they deal with that. But I think that could scare the economy quite a bit. So, Tobbs, good to see you. Dumping a bit. I think I answered that. Well, we're going to go down from here. Gabrielle doesn't think Harris is going to win. Jake likes the moon. Armando, why not $5? So $5 Dogecoin at this point, and we've looked at like the market cap, right? And you look at market caps of coins. Here's Bitcoin at 1.2, right? 1.2. And that is trillion for Bitcoin. Dogecoin is at 15 billion, just over 10 cents. So you multiply that by 5 to get to 50 cents, right? And then you're at, what's that, 75 billion, which puts Dogecoin right up here. Now, you're going to multiply that by 10 to get to $5. So $750 billion for Dogecoin. Not a trillion yet, but is it really worth $750 billion market cap? We talked about $1, right? Which would be 146 billion. And that makes sense to me. Bitcoin at 1.2 trillion, ETH at 288 billion, and then Doge at 146 billion. Those would be the top three, the big three. That makes sense to me. But 5 times that for Doge, that huge market cap, would be really hard, at least in this cycle, in my opinion, for Doge to be able to trade up that much. So I know there are other analysts, right, who are saying, based on past trading percentage-wise, that Doge could easily go up that high or even higher. Like I said in this morning's video, I think that trading that we had in 2021 on Doge was too much FOMO and hype. Doge's price, I think, should actually probably have stopped at around 35 cents for its time and not double that up to 70 cents. So that's why I'm looking at 35 cents this cycle as passing what I think was the previous, what I thought should have been the all-time high for Doge, which is why I'm going to be looking at taking profits on Dogecoin at 35 cents. And I've been very clear about that, that's kind of the level I see for Doge as previous all-time high, because that other crazy trading up to 70 cents, I mean, you saw how it just got shorted all the way back down. It's crazy. So yeah, $5 Doge, a little unrealistic this cycle. Look, Bitcoin's taking a bigger dump now, 60,600. So we are seeing a continued sell-off here. We can see what's happening with the leverage. I haven't checked that recently, but I imagine there's some big Bitcoin, $38 million of leverage liquidations. And yeah, we're seeing big ones. Bitcoin, ETH. Look at these ETH. There's another $2 million ETH leverage trade that just got liquidated. Another $1.8 million of ETH. Another $1.2 million of ETH just happened in the last minute. This is why we can't have any fun, guys. Here's another ETH at 1.8 million. Here's a Bitcoin, 2.4 million. All of this in just the last 5 minutes. This is why we can't have any fun, guys. They want to liquidate these leveraged longs. And so they are pushing the price down. Here's a Doge one, 10.6 cents, $106,000 leverage trade, just got liquidated. So these are heavy leverage trades. Look at this XBT. Who is leverage trading XBT? $5 million, $8 million trade. An XBT. That's got to be a Bitcoin related trade on BitMEX of some manner, because it's a Bitcoin price. It's tied to Bitcoin. I don't know what that is particularly on BitMEX, but it looks like they're so-called leverage trading probably against Bitcoin. Wiped out another $13 million. So that's what's going on. I mean, it's this leverage they're taking out. And here's this dump going on. Can't have any fun. For those looking to buy, the price is looking pretty good. But is it going to? It's still dropping. I just saw 60,390. Will it get down to 59K? There were some predicting that. Mostly because they saw in the heat maps there was big leverage that would get liquidated at 59.9, and that could be the target here. Big, heavy leverage liquidations at 59.9. Doge is now down to 10.6. Bitcoin, 60,383. We could see that coming down to 59K. So we're going to keep this on Bitcoin for a little bit because there's a lot of volatility right now on Bitcoin. SD Willie asks, is there anything that red flags SHIB or red flag to not buy? So SHIB, I think, is going to go on a big run at some point in time in this bull cycle, patiently waiting for that. We saw that happen last March, where SHIB more than doubled up to 0.00045 and then retraced back down to half that value, and then even went down from the 20s into the teens. That's 0.00017. And I think now it's dropping even to 1.1 or 1.6. So way down from its price that we saw back up here when it went on this crazy run here, late February into early March. We could see that repeat this cycle. obviously looking back, you can say, I should have sold up back here, but we were looking forward, optimistic to the Bitcoin halving. And I mean, somebody was selling and taking profits up here, but most held on like I did. I held through all of this, didn't think it would drop as low as it did, but we could see another big run for SHIB still happen. You zoom out on the Bitcoin chart, and this dump we're having right now actually doesn't look too bad. It's just revisiting again where we were just here a week ago. And of course, we were much lower in September. But you go to the 15-minute chart and you're like, ouch. Ouch. Yeah, low roller, we talked about Mega Millions again. We talked about that before. And I'm not going to McDonald's to get a chicken Big Mac. No, not interested. Yeah, Obama left. Well, Obama left the economy. It was doing okay, but under Trump, it really took off. No bull market, sorry. I mean, the S&P 500 hit a new all-time high today. Stock market's still doing great. So if you've got stocks, you're doing all right. Crypto's getting hit today. So crypto and stocks are diverging here. We'll see 40K before 80K. I don't think we're going to see 40s. Now, someone predicted if Harris wins the presidential election, we could see a big dump in Bitcoin. And maybe that would visit the 40s. I mean, it's all kind of a gamble at this point, isn't it? Many think that Bitcoin and crypto will overcome. I mean, look what happened 4 years ago. Biden won the presidency. Bitcoin went to all-time highs. Yeah, we covered that earlier. 69,000 Bitcoin that the US government has moved over to an exchange. Hey, Toss, how are you? Will Kraken and Gemini add SUI? Yeah, they should. They're missing out. Do you know that Coinbase didn't add Dogecoin until after the big bull run in 2021? They missed out huge on all of that Dogecoin trading from under a penny up to 70 cents. Coinbase did not have Dogecoin. Missed out on all of that while Robinhood was raking in profits. And Coinbase totally missed out. Kraken and Gemini should have SUI. Absolutely. Operculum. Trump wins with Elon. Did you guys see the chat that Elon had with Tucker Carlson? There at the last 15, 20 minutes, they talked about Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. And Elon, he just chuckles every time he says that. Don't call it Department of Government Efficiency, just call it Doge. And he chuckles. Alts will continue to dip lower as Bitcoin dominance pushes higher. I think Bitcoin dominance is peaked out at 58%. I know Ben Cowan is still talking 60, but I'm like, yeah, it's starting to come up a little bit here as alts are now dropping a little more than Bitcoin just did. But it got up to about 58.6, and I think that's the highest we're going to see for Bitcoin dominance. I think we're going to see this transition happening, alts You're going to see ETH, other big alts, and then the memes again with Doge, Shiba, and others that are just going to totally outperform Bitcoin. And Bitcoin dominance is going to take a big dump. That's what I think is going to happen the rest of this bull market. But we'll see, right? We'll see how that plays out. If there's a major war, yeah, crypto will drop. Other black swan events could happen as well. That's just part of the nature of investing in crypto. And if you can't stomach it, and if you don't have a belief that the crypto prices are going to go exponentially higher still, Obama was president, Bitcoin hit an all-time high. Bitcoin doesn't care who the president is, right? Bitcoin hit an all-time high with Trump. Bitcoin hit an all-time high with Biden. I need to buy some SUI before it skyrockets. Well, Matthew, SUI is going on a bit of a dip here. Let's see where it is right now. Down to $1.84. It was up over $2. And now it's dipping to $1.84. That's looking pretty attractive for SUI. One major bad news, and you'll see BTC dominance go through the roof. That could happen. That could definitely happen. And a black swan is going to happen 100%. Yeah, we'll see. Yes, at some point in time, but in the next 3 months, I don't know. Well, low roller, you're not, I mean, look and see what SUI is. It's a huge growing blockchain, right? With TVL increasing, the total value locked increasing exponentially, usage on the blockchain increasing exponentially. It's not a meme like Pepe. I do not see it dropping 60% just because it is getting used a ton. George got sponsored by Crow. I don't know. I reached out to them. We had a phone call. We chatted. They sent me some information. I took care of it. They asked me, could you at least, post some good things, which I did on X Twitter. And then I didn't hear anything for a couple months. I reached out to them again, and they were like, oh, yeah, we want to do something with you. And then I haven't heard anything back again. So now they're a little busy with this lawsuit, but we'll see. Yeah, CryptoLark is also a crypto.com ambassador or whatever you call it, but I don't have mine yet. We'll see. We will see. You think Japan is going to start a black swan? Japan. We already had that Bank of Japan dip when they raised interest rates over the summer, and we had that big dip. So I don't think that's going to cause it again. That whole carry trade thing, I think, sort of got ironed out, and people aren't as exposed to that as they were. Jack, how are you? My ever bull. I mean bear, because you are. But that's okay. The swan before the election. Some say not until after the election. So we got two bears. two big bears, and one thinks before and one thinks after. You think Japan's going to increase interest again? Are they making it delay, or are we in at the right time? I don't know what you mean by delay, Arv. I don't know what you mean by delay, but I mean, there's a dip going on right now. And as our good friend Mustache said, the price action is designed to shake you out before the giga green candles happen. I would call it a pre-election dump, and soon it's going to be up only. I kind of agree. And again, this is all taking out these huge leverage trades because they can. And that's what this is about. Now, is this tied to the 69,000 Bitcoin that the United States government, sent over to an exchange? Sure, that puts some fear in the market. The minutes from, the last FOMC meeting came out kind of mixed. There were some, disagreements among the different commissioners. Fine, that's going to happen. I think people kind of overreact to that. We're going to get some jobs reports and other things later this week. May or may not really mean much. All systems go up to the election now. Certainly the Biden administration, Democrats, don't want bad news to come out that looks bad on the current administration, because that hurts Kamala Harris. So I think we're in for 4 weeks of actually good news, and this dump is happening here just to flush out some of that leverage. I think that's all this is. By the end of the week, we're going to be back up. That's what I think is happening. Doge at 10.65. Buying some. Big dump before the Trump. Yep. Elon paying $47. Well, it's a pack, right? It's some pack. And I don't know, there must be some legal way that it skirts by the law. And I think it's not for voting, it's for registering to vote. It's getting people to register to vote. You're not actually buying the vote. You're getting people to register. Yeah, we talked about FTX users earlier, and that's actually bullish. They're getting some money back. So you've got to look at the detail there. And I talked about it earlier in the stream of what actually is happening there. If you want to know more, let me know. And I'll repeat it again for some that are coming in a little later. Hey, Wei, how are you? It's not shakeout. Crypto isn't just where money flows. It is a shakeout. It definitely is a shakeout. BlackRock's probably buying right now down here. They'd rather buy it down here than up there. Well, look at Bitcoin. Sorry. They're making money. BlackRock is. They say they're just buying on behalf of, their ETF holders. They're making money. They are. They're in it to make money. CJ, buying some? FBI created its crypto token, the next fund AI. Interesting. I wouldn't mess with the FBI. I would not mess with them. Do you think anything about Dogecoin will be announced tomorrow during Tesla Robotaxi? No, I don't think they're at that level of detail yet. I think this is going to be more about the cars themselves and the technology. But if they mention payment and that payment could be in Dogecoin, that could be huge. Hadn't thought about that happening tomorrow, but I think it's more going to be about the cars and the tech than the paying for it. We know in the Boring Company in the tunnel in Las Vegas, you can use Dogecoin to pay for your ride. We know SpaceX charged Astrobotic or Geometric Energy, right? Astrobotic is the third party, but Geometric Energy to pay in Dogecoin for the Doge 1 satellite, and they paid in Doge. So that would be awesome. So BTC just bleeding down slowly while alts getting completely wrecked. Well, alts aren't getting completely wrecked. Bitcoin is down 2.5% over the past 20 hours. Doge is only down 0.2. Dogecoin is outperforming Bitcoin, as I predicted. Even with this dump, Dogecoin is outperforming Bitcoin. It's right here on the chart. You can see the percentages. So I'm just saying, just alts are not getting wrecked. Some alts are, not Dogecoin. Dogecoin is outperforming Bitcoin. Definitely believe we'll beat these numbers easily. Absolutely. If you're going to buy Bitcoin after ETF, it is in a class of its own. Maybe. But there are a lot of meme holders who will beg to differ with you, because there are a lot of coins that have outperformed Bitcoin, even as Bitcoin has done amazing things. Ask our friend Bullrun, who's usually here on these streams, and the Pepe tokens that Bullrun bought has way outperformed Bitcoin. I'm not comparing where Dogecoin is from its all-time high, and I never did that, right? Bitcoin obviously did not drop as much as Dogecoin did. I said from the bottom of the bear market, Dogecoin will outperform Bitcoin. That's what I've said. And everyone here who's been listening to me for the past 2 years has heard me say that again and again and again. So it will outperform Bitcoin. And we see that starting to happen now. Outperforming Bitcoin. It all depends on what date you choose. In the big bull runs in 2017, the big bull run in 2021, Dogecoin outperformed Bitcoin in each of those bull runs. In the bear market, Doge dropped at a much higher percentage than Bitcoin. That is true. I'm not talking about that now. I'm talking about from this point through the next 6 months, Dogecoin is going to outperform Bitcoin. Fairdesk and JumpX closing USA exchanges. Interesting. Well, I can see why, right? They don't want to get sued by the SEC. So that makes sense. A few whales probably just shifted some altcoins to grab a little BTC during the dump. Yep, there could be that. when you see Bitcoin do a big dump, people see that as a buying opportunity to get into Bitcoin, and maybe they'll dump an alt. Yep, that does happen. It won't if BTC dominance is near 60. Okay, let's look at Doge BTC trading pair. And let's go to the weekly. And we will see, look at this. Look at Dogecoin outperforming Bitcoin in 2021 by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, hundreds of percent. Doge BTC, Doge outperforming Bitcoin. Then we had Doge outperforming Bitcoin when Elon bought Twitter. Now that trading pair has dumped down, and it did that in the bear market. We've been following this, okay? Since the beginning of 2024, Dogecoin has outperformed Bitcoin by, and we can just look on, I mean, it's not a lot right now, by about 9%. It's right here on the chart. Since the beginning of 2024, Dogecoin has outperformed Bitcoin by 9%. It's right here on the chart. So use the facts that are on the charts. And I think what we're going to see is a huge run on the price of Dogecoin, and Dogecoin is going to outperform Bitcoin by hundreds of percentage points when Dogecoin goes on its next run, because it's done it before. Each bull run, Dogecoin outperforms Bitcoin. And then when you see a huge, massive run on Doge, and Doge is up by hundreds of percentage points against Bitcoin, then sell your Doge back into Bitcoin. That's what you do. Unless you want to keep some Doge just because for the fun of it and you want to spend the Doge. Great time to spend Doge is when Doge's price is way up here, because your buying power is huge. So that's what I'm saying. We are at that point where Doge is down huge against Bitcoin, but it's still up from the beginning of the year. So this is the time to be in Doge, because Doge is going to do one of these crazy things. And then you can trade it back into Bitcoin. That's the move to make now. Right now, it's near the bottom, not at the bottom. It has been lower. And we see that on the chart. It's been lower. And what had happened when it was lower? Doge went on a run and outperformed Bitcoin. We saw that in February and March this year. So, right, what Low Roller says, Dogecoin to Bitcoin pair. If you sell Doge at the peak, you gain more Bitcoin. Right. And this is what Michael Vanderpop is doing. If you follow him, he actually converted a lot of his Bitcoin into alts. I think he did it a little too soon, but he did it anyway, because he is following the same approach across the board. He thinks he's going to get a much greater return on his investment in alts from here to the top of the bull market. And then he's going to convert that back into Bitcoin, and he's going to end up with a lot more Bitcoin than he had when he started this rotation. So he's already done it. Now is a good time to do Doge. Convert your Bitcoin into Dogecoin, ride the big Dogecoin pump, and then convert it back into Bitcoin, and you'll have more Bitcoin. So timing will be hard, yes. The timing will be really hard for that. But Dogecoin's just recovering back up and is now back in the green. Bitcoin is still 2.5% in the red, and Doge is in the green. I'm just saying, Doge just looks like it is holding support better, and it's not trading down as much as Bitcoin right now. This is what's happening. I'm just looking at what's happening. FOMO gets us all. I know. Like I said, there'll be a lot more people buying Dogecoin at $1 than are buying Dogecoin at 10 cents. The line will be out there. There's a meme. There's a meme out there. Huge line behind the window where it says Doge $1, and nobody is at the window at Doge 10 cents. That's how FOMO works. And we saw it in 2021. VGAR just bought some more Doge, buying on the dips. Yeah, many got wrecked buying Dogecoin up at 50, 60, 70 cents. I wasn't buying Dogecoin up there. I think the most I've ever paid for Doge is 17. And it wasn't a huge bag of it, because most of my Doge was 2 cents and then 5 and 6 cents. So I'm well in the profit on my Doge bag. But there were people who were buying at 60, 70 cents. I wasn't telling them to buy. And a lot of people will be buying Bitcoin at 100K, exactly. And especially when Bitcoin gets to that price, it's going to be in the news everywhere, right? Bitcoin 100K, right? It's going to be giant news. And they'll get a lot of people buying it. I won't be buying Bitcoin at 100K. Now, does that mean Bitcoin won't go to 200, 300, 400K? Maybe, and I'm missing out there, but I'm in it right now, and I've got a chunk of Bitcoin, which is at an average of 26K. Yeah, all my Bitcoin that I have is at average 26K, and I'm up over 100%. If Doge goes to $1, the market cap will be $146 billion. We looked at that on the coin market cap here. The Doge would be $146 billion. It'll be number 3 behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. If Bitcoin and Ethereum just stayed where they were, right, and Doge just went to $1, it would be number 3. I mean, BNB and Solana might also go up huge percentages too, and maybe one of them would still be up above Doge, but that's where Doge would be. And I'm saying that is not unrealistic. Dogecoin at $1 being the number 3 cryptocurrency by market cap after Bitcoin and ETH. I don't think you can really argue against that, particularly if Dogecoin is being used as a major currency on X Twitter. That would be a catalyst that would send Dogecoin to $1, in my opinion. And then $1, $2, that's all in play for Doge. But without it, with Doge only going up in price because of FOMO and memes and hope, I don't think it's going to make it. You're selling at 50 cents. We're going to be talking about layering out. Again, my first layer out price is actually 35 cents. And I've been consistent with that, 35 cents. I'm not selling all my Doge at 35 cents, but I will be taking some percentage of my Doge and booking a profit there. So, yeah, 5x from here would be stretching it. Agreed. 50-cent Doge. You see only 3 to 5. And again, that's going to be, in my opinion, that's based on the catalyst, right? If Doge doesn't get integrated onto X this bull cycle, that's probably a realistic price point for Doge this cycle. And that might be all it does. You can sell your Doge pair, convert to Bitcoin, so you got more Bitcoin the next bull run. True. Wish BTC was in the news more. It seemed like some weird thing forever. Yeah, it kind of goes in little spurts here and there. I mean, certainly on the business channels, you hear a lot more regular talk about Bitcoin. CNBC talks about it a lot. But in the mainstream news, they only cover it if something huge happens. But CNBC covers it quite a bit on a daily basis. There's discussion about mostly Bitcoin. They do talk about some Ethereum. Now there's an Ethereum ETF. But they don't really talk about any other cryptocurrencies. I think XRP every once in a while, typically when lawsuit is involved, something like that. Another one bought more Doge on the dip. Noctis. Yep. Do you think Doge gets to previous all-time high by the end of December? No, I don't. And the reason I don't think it's going to be in this year, this calendar year, is because I don't think we're going to see that huge pump because of the utility. And I think it's the utility that is going to get Dogecoin to go on an epic run where it could challenge its previous all-time high. But I don't see that happening in the next 3 months. So I don't think we're going to see that. Could Doge still pump? Yes. Doge could do some pumping, but I don't think it's going to be up to 73 cents. And if you look at the 4-year cycles, you wouldn't expect that kind of run to happen until 2025. So we're still in 2024. That's what we got. Thanks, KB, for the reminder to hit the like button. Everybody hit the likes on the stream. Of course, always subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And if you want some Dogecoin from me, I'm giving away 75,000 Doge, which is in this portfolio, separate portfolio called the Kriss DCA portfolio, where last summer we were buying crypto. I put in $10,000. It's dipped a little bit from 20 now down to about 18.6. But I think this will be back up over 20, maybe even $30,000 or $40,000 by the time we get to the top of the bull run. I will be selling most of this other crypto, like the Jasmy, we're up 400% on. But the Doge, I'm not selling. I'm giving this away. This is my gift to you guys. And it was mostly because I was so confident last summer that we were at the bottom of the Doge price. Our average cost for the 75,000 Doge is 6 cents. We're up 75% on that right now. It obviously was higher when Doge was at 22 cents back in March. I think we're going to get back up to that price and even higher. And then I'm going to be giving away this Doge. So, and again, it's confidence in the 4-year cycles, confidence the bull run is going to continue. The talk today is about the US presidential election's influence on crypto prices. And I think at least until January 20th, if Trump wins between November and the middle of January, I think we're going to see some big gains in crypto. After Trump takes over the presidency, then it might be a sell the news kind of thing, and we might see some dips happening. We'll see what the economy does. I mean, all kinds of things can happen then. So that's why we're going to be talking about strategies for profit taking. Will we hit the top, very, very tippy top of the bull market? Probably not. We don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. But booking some profits is a good strategy. And we'll be talking more about that. And the timing of when I'm going to give away all that Dogecoin. If Dogecoin goes to $1, yes, that's $75,000 that I'm going to be giving away. Yes, that is correct. But then I've got almost 3 million other Doge that if Dogecoin is $1, then I've got almost $3 million worth of Dogecoin. That'd be a nice problem to have, wouldn't it? Two, 5x in a bull run. Yeah, 50-cent Dogecoin is a damn good price without that real utility behind it. Will outperform BTC if it hits at least 30 cents. It will go over $1. Elon will give us a hand with that. Be optimistic. Well, Matthew is certainly on board with that. I've got cautious optimism. I'll put it that way. Right now, Elon is still in the kind of joke mode about Doge, right? Lil Jet, how are you? Thank you. What's up, Hiram? How are you? We got into a bunch of election talk earlier in the live stream. Really, mainly just how it relates to cryptocurrencies. And also we looked at Polymarket, which is like a crypto betting site, and how the odds of Trump winning went up pretty big this week on Polymarket, which are more crypto people involved in this, but it's gone up quite a bit in favor of Trump this week on Polymarket. So we were looking at that. And then we had this nice big dip right in the middle of the stream here. Bitcoin came all the way down to 60,280. It's recovered a bit, but still not back up to 61, where Doge is on a bit of a dip, has recovered more, where Doge is back in the green and Bitcoin and other cryptos still in the red. And true, Blanca, nobody has lost money selling at a profit. That is true. I could sell all my crypto today and I am in profit. Some of my cryptos are down a bit from where I bought them, but overall, my portfolio is up. I think it's going to be up a lot more, which is why I'm not selling right now. We're just starting October. We're only 9 days into October, and people are saying, oh, October is more like Rectober. And it's like, guys, look at what happened last year. It wasn't until October 19th when prices started to escalate. It was October 19th last year. I remember that date very well because we were doing a live stream and I was like, here we go. We had just bought all that Doge at 5.8 cents the week before. It's right here because I log all my purchases, and these were the purchases we made for that Kriss Pax DCA portfolio. And look, October 9th, 2023, exactly 1 year ago, we bought 14,000 Doge, a total of $835, and the average price was 5.885 cents. Right there. 1 year ago today. Which actually took our price of the 75,000 Doge we have to 0.0617. So that's our average price of all of that Doge we bought through the summer, because we DCA'd and we started up in the 7s and then down into the 6s, and then we hit a bunch in the 5s. But that, again, was just showing that DCA strategy near the bottom of the bear market is the time to be buying. Just like this Jasmy, we were buying at 0.0034, right? And now Jasmy's at 2 cents, which is why we're up 400% on Jasmy. Now, we only bought $500 worth, but again, the idea was half of this portfolio was going to be Doge, and then the other half was going to be split amongst other cryptos that we were doing together with you guys. So, which was a fun thing to do. And so I have that, and that's all recorded. That's all in profit, except for the Litecoin and the XRP we bought, which are in the red from a year ago. But we didn't put too much into that. It was more Jasmy, Bitcoin, and of course Doge. Bitcoin start pumping in November, late October. And we looked at that last week at the actual dates in previous cycles. Maybe Monday. Maybe it was Monday we looked at that. But somebody asked the question. We scrolled back on the chart and we looked at the dates in previous cycles when Bitcoin started pumping. Yeah, New England, the Patriots, the worst team in the NFL, are going to throw their new rookie quarterback to the Wolves. He's going to get pummeled. We'll see. So if Doge goes to $2, it will go 20x from 10 cents. Yes, that is correct. 10x gets you to $1, 20x. You double that then, and it's 20x to $2. That is correct. That would be nice. I'll take a 20x. Sure, from here. Absolutely. Is it going to happen? Like October 15th, it started pumping after the last halving. Yeah. And then last year we had the pump, which started October 19th. Yep. Yeah, that New York coach, he just didn't have a chance. They thought by signing Aaron Rodgers like they were going to go to the Super Bowl. The whole team organization is such a mess. I'm not saying New England Patriots are any better. They're not. They're ever since Bill Belichick left, it's like it's a mess. So yeah. So what else going on? We can look at the overall winners and losers right now over the past 24 hours. Chili's, look at Chili's making a big move. Chili's. Any of you guys trading Chili's? Big move for Chili's. The big losers, FTT, doesn't surprise me. They just went on a huge run. So doesn't surprise me they're selling off. Even Aptos too went on a big run, selling off. And BitTensor Tau had been on a big run from last month. So, and as well as Say, Caspa, there's a lot of huge hype around Caspa right now, but it's selling off. It's not a buy the rumor thing because it's going the opposite way. Rune is down, Popcat is down, WorldCoin has continued to sell off. So those are the ones that are down the most right now today of the top 100. I mean, we can look at the crypto bubbles and we can see what's happening in the next 200. Usually there's one that's taking off. Oh, it's Baby Doge. Look at that. Baby Doge up 20%. There you go. Are you guys into Baby Doge? Baby Doge? Anybody? Baby Doge? That's interesting. Baby Doge. And the next Oh, Trump is down. Hippo's down. Moodang. We knew Moodang was going to dump. I told you guys, right, last week. Watch out for Moodang. That's dumping. So, yeah, that's what's going on overall. But still, memes. Boy, if you get in the right meme at the right time, you can make a crap ton of money. I just don't play that game, which is why I went so much into SUI, and I'm way up on SUI because I was buying it when it was like 55th in total market cap, and now it's number 20. Because I missed out on Toncoin, but I wasn't in Telegram, so I was like, I don't think this thing's going to do anything. And it ended up going into the top 10. So I totally missed out on Toncoin. Now we see it's fading back a bit, selling off a bit. I think it's still up in the top 10, isn't it? But it's at a lower price now. Yeah, here it is, number 10. Cardano is not able to catch up to it because Cardano has its own challenges. Oh, Cardanzo. So we'll see what takes over the number 10. I think eventually it's going to be SUI. I think SUI is going to go from number 20 up to number 10, which according to its market cap, it's going to double from here. More than double. So that gets it to almost $4 for SUI. And then it'll be a top 10 coin. I can see that happening. With the hype that it has behind it, could see that happen. Insurance is running like Meta was. Not quite sure what that means. All right, gang, that's what we have. Look, Dogecoin, I think, still is holding up surprisingly well, still in the green, while everything else is in the red. I mean, that shows good support for Doge, despite its price being below 11 cents. But again, Bitcoin is all the way down into the 60s, 60,700 now. So I think that looks good for Doge. Again, we'll see how the trading goes tonight. I'll have a video tomorrow, and Friday I will be live again at 4 o'clock. So join in on the next Kriss Pax live stream. Until then, I hope you all are well, and we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.